first we are showing that our this application very beautifully is working. Now we are making this very beautiful car. It's all working, but here is the one problem. Whenever I restart my application, then data will be gone. Okay, now you see I restarting. Now you see data will be gone. How to store in local? Then whenever I restart my application, to fetch the application and fetch the data. Application will fetch the data and see over here. Now work with that. Also in your browser, go to that, need to link, open that. We using SQF Lite and Path. Okay, how to use that? Giving the here example. In web it not supportable, and our flutter is also support the web, working on web, but SQLF is not supporting any type of web. Okay, first you want to install. Okay, now you go to here, install that and copy this. It's showing up how to install and where to install. Okay. Add this packaging for the YAML file in dependencies. Okay. We are going to here our project and then go to here. After this we are including first this, then enter, save it, but it's not saving because I am also using this part. Same do installation, and here if we install it, copy that and paste it here. Now save it. You can see further pub get is running automatically. You can save it, otherwise it not run, then copy this command and in your terminal paste it and keep only enter. Okay, then we run it command. Okay. Is our added in our application. Now we want to create an SQLF Lite table. Okay, that's why I'm creating here our new folder db helper, only helper. Okay, in helper we are first db dot db underscore helper dot start file. Okay, here we are creating our db classes. Here create db helper, create this class. Okay, now we want to implement this here, SQLite and Path. How do we use that? Here we don't want to this now, we only want to this db helper. Okay, now we want to how to is work. So also in see in here, there is also in read SQLite in read me is showing to the example of it. It's importing by this SQLite dot dart, open database, db close. Okay, that is giving us so many type of example here. Now here we are creating our db. First we implement these two files, import SQFL dot start as a SQL. Okay, you want as a SQL, and import part dot start file as a part we want to use as a part. Okay, now we want to create a DP like this, create table test. Okay, now what we want to also create the part of database where we store it and get them the part. Okay, that's why I'm using. Okay, here we want database, and we create a first the DP part, final DP part creating, and await because the get data part is taking time. Okay, now is clear database assign SQL. We want to return now this OpenDB database. Okay, want to part. In part here also see there is a different type of element. Now we want to only join, that why we only doing the join. Here give the DP part. See this DP part, get database part is a DP part. Now here give here in place DP what you want to write any type of name with product DB. You want to that right here any type of DP name, and now create DP, and also you create the DP version because this is important here, DP version. Okay, now we show to you here we not use the version, thereby giving the error. Now we are using okay, now use always version here, and now return the DP dot execute. Execute means whenever there is not table like this, it will create. Okay, otherwise it's created, then it's only call this table. Okay, now DP version is 1. Okay, now here we want to not the name of it, we want to name of it product. Okay, always we want to ID is automatically created by here. Okay, now we want to only import an ID that we remove it, also we want it. Okay, ID is a primary integer text, write only primary integer text primary key, we automatically created by DP. Okay, here title is always in text because we also here getting our title in string. See here we are getting our title in string, and we don't want to here image, we want to here our price. In price you want to in double, but here not in double. Here double is just getting an integer, that's why we want to write there is integer. Like example is you are also giving, I will see here, you can see here the column ID equal primary account number. Now here the value is integer like this. Okay, you want to create value in integer in here. Okay, and we also getting a date and time, create date want to name everything with is also in a string, because we also giving in string. Because now you can see here in this part is saying to us latent time is not supportable SQL type. In SQL there is not a type of latent time, is permanently or in integer millisecond epoch or string. It converts into string in ISO H601. Otherwise it converts into integer. Okay. Now VR is converting into string, because in here we are showing that is to also converting into string. That's why we are also converting in date and time here into string. Now is here always come at n is 7 on. Okay. Here also coming the ID, title, price, and date and time. Here over this and save it. But we are only created. Now how to fetch that? We want that. Fetching that ID. Oh, sorry. So now it's created. Okay. Now save it. Okay. This is a future class. Also is avoid it. DB database is always giving out the future. That's why here also we want the future. Future in table. Okay, now this is table name. Here coming is table name. First we want to string the table name what we inserting in. Okay, now map. We also giving this into a map condition, not the right string. That why. Okay, string in map in string and object. Then I will getting a data. That is data. We also give in map as our data. Okay, assigning this avoid, and DB also so many type of here query, row delete, insert row, query update, row update, and execute, delete, close, get version, insert, get version. We also saw that here version is and version is 1. That why we get version. That why giving to our version is equal to 1. Okay, sorry, not here. Now we are inserting completely, and also we want to fetch. Here we want to fetch it also in list. In map is a string and dynamic value. We don't know what it value is giving us, only know dynamic value is giving us. Get data in string and table. Only we want to table name, then is in table that give a data. Okay, assigning a DB. We don't write like this because we don't write like this because we not called it. We write like this. DB helper dot database. Okay, because we like this, then it's not called this database, is called another database. Okay. I also don't know which database is calling. Then is query is get. In our SQL map we write select star in query. In here you only write a query. Here is giving a to string table name boolean, the list string, the where string, and the value of that. Okay, order by. Now we are complete with our this DB helper class. Okay, now how do we use that? Now how do we use this in here home screen. Let's look up. First we want to add here dp. Okay, we want to add here dp. Now how to we add here? That will be important thing, because we also want to store in that data and also want to see here that data. That's why we want to see here how to implement it. First we want to import that db handler. Now here, come here and import dot slash helper class db dot helper. In here db helper dot get database, insert database. Inside we want also the name of the class of the table. Here is products. Okay, now here we are inserting the product. Now data also we pass it in the model. That is why always we want to watch. We are mapping here. Okay, we want to give in a map, not like this. In here we also we view in the map. That's why we editing this. Now here we also giving the id. It's also created by db handler, but it's not assigning here. We only give the this id. We saw how this work when I always give this id. Okay, here we write id then why what we write here. We write new add dot id. Okay, now we passing our id, and also we want here which title. Let's copy that and paste it here. New add dot title, and now we want here a price. Price is an integer, you always understand that. Okay, here write new add dot price, and now is a date and time. Date and time our we are giving into a string. You see here we are also giving into a string. That's why we also want to write here like a string. Okay, new date dot time dot to iosing string. Okay, always you know how to write this iosing string. Now it completed to add our data. Whenever I think we can test. First we want also see here data. Okay, that's why we want to call whenever our application restarted, and our sheet which is built again. Then also we want to call fetch data. Fetch data means get data function. Whenever we create a tab again, whenever we call this app again, here we can initiate. Okay, we in here initiate, you always want to get data in whenever the application was created. We restarted everything. Okay, now we are db sorry db helper dot get data. We always want to pass our table name. Okay, here I created table name, and now here we want to avoid assign this and await. Now we are here creating our class that will be okay. I also show that how this works. Creating a class, that is a class. Now we are okay. Final db data is stored in this class. Now here we want to, whenever this class is created, we want to add item in here. Okay, that's why I'm using underscore item dot add, not this. You want like this, dp data and it's dot map. Okay, dot map, and it always map to to list. Okay, then it converting into list, otherwise it's not converting into list, and otherwise also it's giving the error to you. Okay, now here we want to okay data, so it db write db always on whatever name do you write here, and now I can see how to create it in places. Okay, now here we want to call models. In models we also want to get title, that always thing we want to get here. Okay, now we want to get db dot okay, yeah, because here is getting id. Okay, here is the same like this. We count here id title. Okay, like this db slash id log title. Now here price is same like dp, otherwise it's not getting in dp, not getting a value, or is empty. That's why we also giving to you the error. Repeat like this. And you also want to pass in date and time, because we in our model this is date and time. We want to also pass in date and time. Okay, that's why we are using date time dot pass. Here is a very easy method what pass it. Okay, now can save it. When our restart application, there is no data saved, that's why it's not showing us. Okay, that's why it's not showing us. Now create our data. State.init must be a valid method without an assigned keyword. Okay, did not want to assign keyword. Okay, that's why also not right here. Okay, this want to assign. Now we call not like here. We also want to call from another method. Okay, now here we void underscore get data. Okay, assign with this. Sorry, not here. Oh, sorry, I forget that code. Okay, now here is the full code. I have to cut this and write here a full function void underscore get data assign. Okay, now can save it, and reloading it is working perfectly, but always we want to call this here in equal get data. We want to call this, and now reload fastly. In fact, reload our application. It perfect reloading, showing nothing error. When I click here, it's showing some type of error here. Okay, let's see what type of error. Okay, not any error. This is only production. Now test here. Test any type of number and that, and now submit it. It's showing here always. Okay. Also is submitted in our dead list. Now we can anytime of refresh this, it getting our data or not, we want see that. Okay, it's perfect in getting our data. No, it's not getting our data because we also want to call here tested. Okay, now save it here, and now again call it. We start our application. This is why it's call or not is calling. Okay, it is not calling this get data. How to it work? One method also is us here. We want to install another thing that is writing from here, so I saw that. Also we use the distance dependency. Okay, now we work with this what, and so it work or not. And test here. Showing here perfectly. Here also it gives some type of error of my SQL. Yeah, it's giving error. Error. Yes. Oh, we want to restart our application because we added this. That's why it's not added in perfectly. We want to restart, rerun our application. Oh, sorry, I selected Chrome. Whenever in this new PUBG file, we want to restart our application. That's why it's working perfectly. Otherwise, it's not working. And whenever I click it, it's also not giving error. Let's take this code. Okay, price. Now it's showing us here. Whenever I restart application, his con or get won't see that. Okay. Now here is giving now is giving error. An expression type of integer is was subtitle of the double. Okay, we want to pass this here in double, not here, here in integer. Okay. Now can pass in integer. Pass. Next to a string, we also want to here only write to string. Okay, now it's passing integer. Okay, but here we want to price in double. That's why I'm here. We want to pass in double dot pass. Okay, now can save it and reload our application. Now also it's giving to us some type of error. Such type of string. Where is the integer? Oh yeah, we also want to pass our title. We also giving a title, but it's into a string. Okay, now we also want to pass title into a string. I think ID here ID. Then when we call started. It's not showing any type of, now it's showing error. Where is this home screen? Or in model I choose dot to string. Now can restart our application. Here is a we are getting from integer, not in string. Double is passed through string to in double. That's why it's giving to our error. Okay. Now it's nothing to giving the error. We started app, not data is coming. Now it's not into our any type of error. Now when call this, yes, now submit here. Here we also getting some type of error now. Yeah, it is showing the index number is character 1. Following from expression or throw, handling with the guide. Receiving our error. So receiving our error. Not being converted. It's giving our error to here. Now what we'll do, yeah, here we don't want this. That's why we always want to call it in a format. We want to call invited threads. want to here giving us integer. Okay, we'll convert here in integer and what we do. So now here it was saying here we want to here in integer. Now here also we want to pass now here. So pass in not here as an integer. Okay. Now I'm not getting any type of error. We are getting here only one error. Repeat. What is want to pass in there? Not we also want to pass because it's getting always in integer. Okay. Now here also we don't want to pass in here because it's always here integer. Okay. Now any problems? Error the word is subtype of type integer. Type double is not subtype of integer function integer. Let's call it. Now can test. Yes. Okay. Now submit it. Now it's perfectly only we are receiving it, but it is also getting this. Okay, whenever I restart our application, now you can see but it's not getting our data. Okay, okay, we also want to set this. Now we are getting this our application data because on dependency change is getting our always data. And see our data is still running. Whenever